So today we're going to cover hand and a half Chi Sau. Now you may not have heard of hand and a half Chi Sau, and that's because we kind of invented it. And now before you say anything, your school might do something similar. But to my knowledge, this is not a common practice. Let me tell you the story about where this comes from. So one of my students has a neurological disorder that it makes it hard for him to coordinate both sides of his body at the same time. So two-handed Chi Sau is extremely difficult. So we figured out what he could do and what was difficult, and we kind of engineered backwards trying to find something that would accommodate it. And what we stumbled on was, well, what if we just maintain one bridge instead of having to manage two bridges, but both hands are still in play, because he's really good at cycling his hands. Lo and behold, that worked. And now we kind of decided this kind of works for everybody. This is something that is actually really useful for, I hate to ever say everybody, but this is something that is generally useful. So you're familiar with like one-handed Chi Sau, right? So if I come in, I punch, and then he punches, right? So we have the drills, then you can free play it. And you have two-handed Chi Sau, right? And you have your Pun Sau rolling, and you can do your standard handoffs and all that kind of stuff. And that's all fine, right? And you can do those in formal drills, and you can do those in free play. So we never figured out any like formal drills, and I'm sure we could, but we never really figured out any formal drills for hand and a half Chi Sau. We just kind of treat it as free play with the caveat of you must always work from a single bridge. Now, just like two-handed Chi Sau, if you disengage, that's fine. Just make sure you engage a bridge before you engage an offensive technique. And unlike one-handed Chi Sau, your offhand is actually in play. So let's review the bridge positions just for a moment, right? So if I'm here, I can be on the outside of my opponent's arm, same side, or I can be on the inside, right? We can be in bong, tom, whatever, right? All the hand techniques. Or we could be cross arm, so I could be double inside. This is generally not a preferred position, but there are things you can do. And I can be cross arm outside. So we have cross arm, inside and outside, and then same side, inside and outside. You have four different lateral bridge positions that all of your technique can occupy in some way, shape, or form. The magic part is your other hand is free. You just have to work from a bridge, any one of those bridges. Now, granted, if you work up to a clinch or a leg grab or something, you could call those bridges as well. They're by all technicalities bridges. The point is that you are working on your bridging sensitivity, otherwise it is not Chi Sau. So just to give you an idea, we're just gonna go slow and light here, right? So we have a cross hand. Everybody likes this because of the old classic Bruce Lee drill, right? Well, if you can do this, you're already playing hand and a half Chi Sau. We just continue it from there. So maybe I do that, and then maybe I do something like this. And notice how we're constantly changing off the bridges. Now, if I accidentally double bridge, I do something to reduce it back to a single bridge because I don't want it to just turn into regular two-handed Chi Sau. I want it to stay hand and a half Chi Sau. The cool thing with hand and a half is that it becomes actually more like a fight, because I don't know how many of you spend time sparring and actually trying to apply your techniques in sparring, but we do. And the fact is that if we're going to practice Chi Sau, you have to find ways for Chi Sau to enter into your sparring. It's not enough to say, oh, when I POC, it's still, I'm Chi Sau because I'm creating momentary bridge. Yeah. I get the technicalities. That's not what we're really talking about, right? Like if I just throw a punch and he blocks, he should be able to use that to do something else. And if I respond, he has to be able to respond in kind, right? And so when we're playing hand and a half, where to keep that in? So when we're playing hand and a half, we want to make sure that we're still playing Chi Sau, not just boxing. We want to make sure that it doesn't turn into two-hand Chi Sau, because then we're doing something else. And it's really fun to play with that extra empty hand. Because you don't have any physical accountability of it, and you have to create new bridges all the time. And it's a really, really fun way to play. and just create that extra little bit of something. And here's the best part about it, right? Because there's no formal drilling with it, any of you styles that do hand fighting and striking, or even hand fighting just to grip fighting into throws and stuff, you can use this as a sensitivity drill for working on your entries from creating, from creating a bridge all the way in. And the cool thing is, you could start it bridge, but you don't even have to start a bridge. You could start it from somebody just throwing a punch or throwing an attack, and you use that initial bridge. So maybe right from here, I throw something. Oh, he's got a bridge. What's he going to do next, right? And you just pick something, and now we're into the game, and we're playing and doing something fun. And so the cool thing is, right? It's Chi Sau, but it's different. And it gives you a limitation, but then it gives you some really cool freedom. So just to avoid prattling on about it, I'm going to cut it off here. I think you guys get the idea. Go play with it and report back. Tell me how you like it. And even if you're a karate guy, even if you're a boxer or whatever, if you haven't seen the video of Roberto Duran doing sticky hands, watch it. Don't tell me boxing doesn't have sticky hands. It does. I'll talk to you guys later. Good journey. Hey, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, do all the other social media stuff. You can check out our other socials, as well as take a look at some of the merchandise that we have for offer in the links below. And if you happen to be in the Phoenix metro area, stop in, come in for a class, come in just to say hi. We'd love to meet you. Until next time, good journey.